volume. Expiratory reserve volume. Expiratory ERV value is equal 1000 to 1100. Residual volume 1100 to 1200. Now remember these figures. And next, inspiratory capacity PV plus IRV. Expiratory capacity PV plus ERV. Vital capacity IRV plus PV plus ERV. Total lung capacity RV plus VC. So you have to remember this. First, you have to remember the four values. Tidal volume 500, inspiratory reserve volume 2500 to 3000, expiratory reserve volume 1000 to 1100, and residual volume 1100 to 1200. If you remember these four figures, you can answer any question regarding the respiratory volumes and respiratory capacity. This part is over. Next, we start exchange of gases. Exchange of gases. Normally, at two regions, gases exchange takes place. One is the principal site of gaseous exchange. Alveoli. The principal site of gaseous exchange, edit off. So you write down these points. All these points are objective framework of Neet curriculum. You won't get this opportunity anywhere. Just they will explain, but they never explain in objectively. First to be principal site of gaseous exchange in human respiratory system alveoli, where oxygen from air diffuse into the blood. So here oxygen is diffused from atmospheric air to blood through alveoli. And in reverse, carbon dioxide from blood is diffused into the air. Simultaneous process. The exchange of gases is a simultaneous process. On one direction, oxygen from atmospheric air enters into the blood. In reverse, simultaneously, carbon dioxide that is carried by the blood from different tissues is now diffused into the atmosphere. So the site of this exchange of gases, alveoli, principal site of exchange of gases, this is what is called alveoli, the principal site of work. So external respiration is what is called external respiration. So external respiration occurs in alveoli where gaseous exchange takes place between air and blood. And next, second place, between blood and tissues. Here also gaseous exchange takes place between blood and tissues. Here, oxygen from blood is diffused into the tissues. And in reverse, from tissues, carbon dioxide is diffused into the blood. Quite opposite reaction takes place at the tissue level. So, where the diffusion takes place between blood and tissues, oxygen from blood enters into the tissues, and from tissues or cells, carbon dioxide diffuses into the blood. This is internal respiration. So at two sides, gaseous exchange takes place. External respiration across the alveoli between atmospheric air and blood, and the second site of exchange of gases between blood and the tissues. And in the third part, the cells of the tissues take the oxygen and oxidize the nutrients, by that energy is released. So that is the oxidation of nutrients by oxygen taken from the blood is what is called cellular respiration. What happens in cellular respiration that occurs in cells? The nutrients is are oxidized by oxygen, producing carbon dioxide, water, and energy in the form of ATP molecule. So the byproduct of catabolism that occurs in the cells is water and carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide is not useful to the body. That's why it should be eliminated to outside. That's why the cells release carbon dioxide to the blood at tissue levels. And again, the carbon dioxide is carried by the blood to the alveoli of the lungs, where again carbon dioxide is released out and oxygen in reciprocation, oxygen is taken. All these exchange of gases is based on pressure or concentration gradients of the gases. Listen carefully. Next bit. Exchange of gases occurs by simple diffusion. Simple diffusion. Across the alveoli or at the tissues, the exchange of gases, process of exchange of gases, simple diffusion, next bit. And the simple diffusion, next bit. Simple diffusion is based on pressure or concentration gradients of gases. So the process of exchange of gases, simple diffusion, and the simple diffusion is based on the pressure or concentration gradients of the gases, both oxygen and carbon. Next one. Partial pressure. What is the definition to partial pressure? The pressure exerted by an individual gas. Pressure exerted by individual gas in the mixture of gases. In the mixture of gases, that is air, is called partial pressure. So air contains different gases: oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and other gases, hydrocarbons like. So each gas exerts some pressure in the total pressure of the mixture. So the pressure contributed by an individual gas in the total mixture of gases is called partial pressure. So what is the basis for simple diffusion? The pressure gradients, the difference in the pressure gradients is the basis for the process of diffusion. Now let us see the pressure gradients at various regions in the respiratory system of human. Write down. You have to write down this table. EO2 and PCO2. values in the A, PO2 and PCO2 values. One minute, whatever. Okay, important point. I am diabetic. For every 20 minutes of teaching, I should take water. Otherwise, I cannot teach. Now, you note down this table, which is very, very important. This is A. Alveoli, deoxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood. Finally, tissues. Finally, tissues. So, PO2 in the A, in the alveoli, in the deoxygenated blood, in the oxygenated blood, in the tissues. Like that, PCO2. So, in the atmospheric air, it is estimated PO2 is 159 mmHg. Carbon dioxide 0.3 mmHg. In alveoli, oxygen is PO2 is 104 mmHg. 104 mmHg. It is estimated 40. In deoxygenated blood, the PO2 is 40 mmHg. And here it is 45 mmHg. And in oxygenated blood, 95 mmHg. PCO2 mmHg. These figures you have to remember. And in the tissues, 40 mmHg. Tissues, 45 mmHg. Right. You have to remember this figure also, this table. Because after that I will draw a diagram where these figures will be depicted. So you have to draw the diagram also. You have to practice that diagram I am going to draw. Definitely previously on the diagram a question was asked. That's why I am explaining all this. PO2 in the air 159 mmHg. PCO2 0.3 mmHg. In the alveoli, PO2 is 1 mmHg and PCO2 40 mmHg. In deoxygenated blood, PO2 is 40, PCO2 is 45. And in oxygenated blood, 95, 40. And in tissues, 40. So, on this table, only one question can be expected. In which form a question may be framed. Right. If you take the figures, PO2 is higher in, PO2 is higher in, PO2 partial pressure of oxygen is higher at A. Next, alveoli, and next, oxygenated blood. So different combinations may be given. PO2 is high in the following regions of the respiratory system. In the atmospheric, automatically, but in the respiratory system, alveoli and oxygenated blood. Alveoli and oxygenated blood in these two regions, PO2 is high. And PCO2 is high at PCO2 is high at what regions? Deoxygenated blood and tissues. Deoxygenated blood and tissues. Question will frame. You can expect the framing of question. Basing on this table, in which of the following regions PO2 is high? One is alveoli, oxygenated blood. Outside the system, in air, oxygen is more than that of carbon dioxide. The partial pressure of oxygen in the air is 159 mmHg, whereas carbon dioxide is a concentration about 0.3 mm. Okay. But in this respiratory system, in the following regions, PO2 is high. One is alveoli, oxygenated blood. In the following regions, PCO2 is high. Deoxygenated blood and tissues. Deoxygenated blood and tissues. So, in alveoli, PO2 is high, PCO2 is low. In deoxygenated blood, that in veins, deoxygenated blood flows in veins except pulmonary vein. In all arteries, oxygenated blood flows in except pulmonary artery, pulmonary that carries impure blood. Reverse. So that is about the values of PO2 and PCO2. Basing on that, I will draw a diagram. Okay. This diagram you have to practice from your NCERT book. Today class is very important. Out of these two topics I explained in this class, one question definitely be expected in the ensuing 2021 NEET. No doubt of it. This is alveoli. This is air. Inspired air, expired air. Alveoli. So, what are the partial pressures of oxygen and carbon dioxide alveoli? 104. 104 mmHg. Table చూస్తాం PO2. PCO2 ఎంత? PCO2 104 and 40 mmHg. You see, pulmonary artery. Carries impure blood to the alveolar lungs. Similarly, pulmonary vein carries pure blood to the heart. This is heart. Right. Right auricle, right ventricle. Left auricle, left ventricle. From left ventricle, systemic aorta starts. From right ventricle, pulmonary artery starts. So, from the heart, you see, systemic arteries, dorsal aorta, systemic artery, carries pure blood. Pure blood means 104 in the systemic part and more oxygen and less carbon dioxide. Systemic part supplies to the tissues. Right, from the tissues. Again, systemic veins that carries, this is oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood. Systemic veins carry the hot deoxygenated blood. You know, oxygenated blood carries 95 mm of oxygen and 40 mm of CO2, PCO2. So tissues are supplied blood with through systemic arteries having oxygenated blood. In that PO2 is 95 mm. PO2 to the tissues. PO2 95, PCO2 40. From tissues, deoxygenated blood. This is deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood contains PO2 40, PCO2 45. These figures you have to remember. Another question. This is what previous time said flow, lead flow, and flow. So this is alveoli. In that alveolar A contains PO2 104, PCO2 40. And through pulmonary veins, oxygenated blood, through pulmonary veins, pure blood or oxygenated blood, to the heart and then to the systemic arteries, then to the tissues having 95 mm of oxygen and 40 mm of PCO2. From cells, deoxygenated blood is collected. You see, the deoxygenated blood carries PO2 40 mm, PCO2 45. So deoxygenated blood reaches the heart through systemic veins. Pure blood reaches the tissues through systemic arteries. In systemic arteries, oxygenated blood is present, having PO2 95 mm and PCO2 40 mm. And from tissues, to say deoxygenated blood is carried to the heart by systemic veins, having PO2 deoxygenated blood flowing in systemic veins, having PO2 40 and PCO2 45. So you have to draw this diagram also, which is very, very. So at the tissues, there are two ends. At one end, oxygen is supplied to the tissues. Other end, carbon dioxide is released into the blood. So at one end of the tissue, oxygen from blood, oxygenated blood is supplied to the tissues. On the other end, you see carbon dioxide is released out into the deoxygenated. That's why the blood that is supplied to the tissues having high PO2 and less PCO. Blood coming out from the tissues having less PO2 and high PCO. Even all these points normally be asked in the correct sentences. Find out the correct sentences. If you know the concept, you can answer these analytical questions very easily. That's why I am explaining in detail. Suppose if I explain in a hasty manner, you could not catch the points. So I am explaining this chapter leisurely, in a view that every student who is listening my Zoom class should understand what I explained. Okay, if this today class is over, tomorrow we will finish the respiration, exchange of gases, transportation of gases. Then the last chapter is transportation of gases. Tomorrow we will complete the respiratory system. Then we will we will jump to the next important topic, expression. Okay, thank you very much. I think every student, I think had got a clear concept of my explanation regarding respiratory system. Okay, right. Thank you very much. And the students who have not responded to the Zoom class, they are being given the Zoom class video also in the group. So students who have not attended because of various reasons can avoid the same lecture by observing my video upgraded to your group. Okay, thank you very much.